We talked a lot about taxes last night. We talked about tariffs. Everyone loves the tax cuts. Everybody hates the tariffs. And the reason why, I explain, because of the impact on the automobile industry. One of my great sponsors is Driving American Jobs. Mitch Bainwol joins me now, President and CEO of the Alliance of Automobile Manufacturers. Good morning, Mitch. How are you?
Good morning, Hugh. How are you?
Good. Last night we were talking about these tariffs, and I said car prices are going to go up if these things stay in place. How much are they going to go up?
Well, it depends on whether it's an import or not and the price of the car, but it could be as much as $7,000.
Now, that is a tax hike on people, is it not?
Oh, it's a whopper of a tax hike, and for many families, it would wipe out the value of the tax cut that was appropriately provided a year ago.
It's also going to indent the American automobile industry. I grew up in a car town, GM town, Warren, Ohio. We had Lordstown, we had Delhi, previously Packard, and I just am afraid that the size of this industry is so big it's going to get. How big is the automobile industry to our GDP?
Well, we support about 7 million jobs. It's 3+% of the GDP. We're the biggest exporter, hugely significant manufacturer. And what this policy would do would set off a vicious cycle that would hurt the economy. I mean, the tax increase would drive down demand. You drive down demand, you need less production. Less production means fewer people employed by the industry, and then job loss and the economic impact. It's just a policy that contradicts everything that the president has done so far successfully, which is to build an economy that is zooming.
It is. Everything is cooking. I don't know why we're playing dice with this. About how many cars will be sold less? How many fewer cars will be sold, and what does that mean in terms of jobs?
So we're selling about 17 million cars a year in the U.S. Globally it's probably closer to 90, and our market's mature, so it won't grow. The global market will grow, but in the U.S. the estimate is we could lose as many as 2 million units.
Wow,
and
that's a lot of cars.
So the job impact just on the 2 million units is in the hundreds of thousands, and then you throw in the impact of retaliation, and you're talking about perhaps as many as 1 million jobs lost to the economy. So the notion here of trying to find a level playing field, I think, is a valid one, and we support the president's instinct here, which is to make America more competitive, but this particular policy is the wrong way to go.
I also think about how it filters down. People think, oh, it's a car that's not sold. Well, it's a dealer that doesn't move inventory, and it's a repair shop that doesn't have 2 million cars coming back to it. It's salesmen who don't take home. They got to go find a new job. It's a rolling disaster through the economy. What about exports? We export a lot of cars and light trucks. What's going to happen to exports?
Well, we export close to 2 million units, and the export challenge will grow in two ways. One is every car produced in the U.S. has some content that's imported in terms of parts, and so the cost of product that we build here will rise. So trying to export that will become more challenging and less price competitive. And then the other countries around the world are going to retaliate. And
sure
once you set up the retaliation, we're in a negative spiral that does no one any good.
So people can go to drivingamericanjobs.com and get smart about this and get in touch. But what about Congress? Are they inclined to do anything? Because they have the power to regulate commerce anytime they want.
They do, but the president also has very broad authority here. And so Congress is looking at this very carefully. And if you're a member from South Carolina, where you've got the BMW plant, the Volvo plant, or Alabama, where you've got Daimler and Hyundai, or any other state where you've got serious export exposure, folks are paying attention. They're involved. They're engaging. And what I think everyone's trying to do is to convince the administration that while the objective is noble, this particular mechanism is not.
Yeah, by the way, how's your BMW plant doing in South Carolina with Florence moving ashore?
I've not gotten feedback yet, and I'm concerned. There's also, of course, the brand-new Volvo plant down there.
Yeah, so thoughts and prayers with those people. Mitch, thank you for calling in. DrivingAmericanJobs.com. Go over there, America. Get smart about these tariffs. If we could persuade one thing for the president to change his mind on, it would be automobile tariffs. One thing. If I had a magic wand, get rid of these tariffs. Peter Navarro, I've known him for a long time. Nutty Peter has persuaded the president to do a nutty thing. And he's affable, he's amiable, he's a wonderful guy. He just doesn't know anything about automobiles. Nothing. You got to grow up in a car town to understand this, I think. DrivingAmericanJobs.com. I'm coming right back, America. Stay tuned.
you're in the middle of a non-stop